Monday, and I'm supposed to be talking about products. Supposed to be talking about Scentsy, but I think I want to talk about something else. When I first started Scentsy, I joined as a hobby. Like, it was literally something to just fill some time. This is not a video about joining. This is not a video about buying. Okay, so just hear me out. I literally joined for just a hobby, like just something to fill my time. I had just come out of the corporate world. My last corporate paying job was a pharmacy technician. And I worked for Rite Aid, and then I also worked for a private pharmacy. And the corporate world is tough. We know that. I mean, in some cases, it can be kind of a cutthroat environment. I was in sales primarily all of my adult life, my working life. Listen, I started working when I was 9 years old. My family was a potato farming family, and so we started working very early. And then at 16, when we were legally aged to work, I worked for a shopping center, like a grocery store. And so I've always been kind of in the retail and shopping and retail. Like, I've always been in some kind of a consumable space until I started teaching computers. And then it started as me selling computers, so still I was in retail. And then I eventually grew or was trained into teaching software. I then created I have an eclectic history of work, by the way. I created my own business. It was called Software Enhancement Services, where I would go into corporations, I would learn their software, and then I would turn around and teach that software to their new employees, to the masses. Sometimes they were gaining new software and a new system, and so I'd go in, I'd learn it first, and then I'd go and I would teach them. And so that's where my love of computers came from. And so then I kind of combined the two, and I never really had a space where I could sell something, because my dad used to tell me I could sell ice to an Eskimo. I don't really know what that means, because most Eskimos are going to have ice and maybe need it. See? They're going to need it for their igloos. But I never really had a space that I could teach, that I was involved in computers and technology, that I could sell, that I could mentor people. And then as I progressed in age and through the different types of pharmacy, tech was probably the only kind of out there job that I ever had. But I always loved and researched on my own and learned about the medical field. And so that was my in, right? So anyway, I'd like to think that I'm fairly well versed. So, like I said, I never really had a space where I could involve all the things that I loved and learned. There were jobs that I had teaching and computers. There were jobs that I had selling and computers, but there was never really one that I had all of them until Scentsy. And I know that's fairly cliche, but in my world, it was a big deal, because I just felt like everything was fitting together, right? Everything was coming together. I get to teach, I get to mentor, I get to coach, right? So I get to do all of those things with my team. I get to use technology because I live in a very small town. I influenced my business through technology and the use of technology, whether it was social platforms, the type of devices that I was using, the technology that I could use in those devices with software and enhancements and that sort of thing. and then I'm selling something that I absolutely love. And so I literally, and I've been able to do public speaking, which I love doing that. I used to be a singer on stage. I have just been able to blossom into this full-rounded person that I wasn't really able to do anywhere else, because I wasn't able to utilize those facets of my life and my skills in all of the realms and all of the aspects, right? And so I'm just so grateful. And then you add the relationships that I've created with my customers, with you guys. I have gained so many new people in my life, in my corner, per se, because you guys have found me here on YouTube or in other spaces, and now are some really good customers of mine that I would never have known if it hadn't been for starting up Scentsy, right? And not only the customers, but I've also made some really good friends and connections with other consultants when I go to events for Scentsy. I love traveling. Many of the jobs that I had actually stifled my traveling. Scentsy has enhanced that tenfold, because I'm earning trips, or I'm going to these events, or I'm attending gatherings. It's crazy. And beyond the feeling of blessed. And I do not know, I've never known how to express that to you guys other than sharing the story of, because listen, you're not going to know about something unless you experience it. You're going to hear about it, you're going to probably learn about it in a book or maybe from somebody, but you'll never really know until you experience it. And I am a firm believer right now that God has given me every experience that I've ever had, whether it's a good experience or a bad experience, so that I can be one of his best teachers. I love teaching. I love sharing those stories. I love coaching people. I love influencing people. I love inspiring people. But better yet, I love helping people. And the way that I've been able to do it throughout my life is through words, through listening, through understanding, through coaching, through counseling. And I get to do a lot of that in Scentsy because I choose to. And people feel comfortable with me, and they'll come and talk to me. I never want to be a person that is unapproachable. I always want to have someone be able to come up, give me a hug, say hello, never feel like you can't do that. Always feel like you can. So I wanted to share a little bit of that story with you guys today, because I feel like it helps you get to know who I am. It helps you get to know how I got to where I am, right? And I'm grateful for you. I invite you into my circle, and I want you here, and I want to share with you, and I want to hear about you, and I want to learn about you. And to me, this is the best way to do that, and it's to come forward first and say, hey, look, I want to know you. I want to get to know these people that are part of my reason for being, whether it's Scentsy or in my life, period. So anyway, just wanted to share that quick story with you. I know it wasn't very quick, it was about 10 minutes. I try to keep my videos under 10 minutes, 5 minutes. But I wanted to share so much with you. All right, guys, I hope you have an amazing Sunday, and we will see you all